right, welcome to our segment where we usually talk about agriculture and speak about the different aspects, especially when it comes to improving the way you manage your crops and also the way you farm. And joining us today is Ammie, the Veggie Man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Man, thank you for having me.
He's also known as the Organic Ambassador. All right, so let's get right into the conversation and even start with why organic way.
Well, organic agriculture is really an ancient practice, and most of our people don't know that this was done in Africa for generations. And this is what maintained the soil and caused us to live and to have great dynasties, because the concept of organic is where you're actually not just taking, but you're giving back. So you're in a cycle of giving back to the soil and not just being a thief. So soil regeneration is one of the most important components of agriculture, because you have to make sure that you're maintaining this cycle of life. And when you go contrary to organic and you begin to put deadly chemicals into the soil, what you're actually doing is depleting the quality of soil. You're damaging the, well, one, you're damaging future generations, but the damage that you do to the soil and the chemicals that go into the soil are consumed by the consumer. So it has negative implications on human health and also on the environment itself. So organic, to me, and I'll say without apology as the Veggie Man, organic is the only way to go. There's no other farming. Anything else is actually putting ourselves in a cycle of debt and killing the consumers.
All right, very well explained. And when we look at the soil, because of course the soil is like the base of everything, it's the one that is holding everything. So what goes into making the soil healthy in order for it to hold everything that you're talking about the organic way?
Well, in actuality, plants need certain minerals and micronutrients, and the soil holds all of that. Now, when you're planting one crop in particular and you're doing a monocropping over a long season of time, a long period, what you're actually doing is depleting one particular mineral and not putting it back. So in organic agriculture, one of the things we practice is making sure that whatever crop has taken an excessive amount of a particular mineral, whether it's nitrogen, calcium, etc., we take it into a soil regenerative process where we put some more of that, those minerals and nutrients back into the soil, and then we plant something like legumes, etc., which do nitrogen fixing. So we're actually putting back what we have taken.
Yes.
Also, the microbes, there's a microorganic activity in the soil that has to be taken into consideration. And this is something that most farmers, modern day farmers anyway, who have been convinced that chemicals are the only way to go, what we have actually done is kill those microbes. And if I go biblical for a minute, when the scriptures say the earth shall not yield its increase to you for your sins, most people may not understand that conventional agriculture is sinful, because what it does, it causes those microbes to descend and to remove themselves from the topsoil. The topsoil becomes hard, the salts are locked, and the minerals are locked and not being released for the plants to absorb them naturally. So when you're doing this and you're actually killing the soil, then the microbes drop down, because the earth is alive and you're attempting to kill it. So it pulls back from you. So what you're getting is not whole foods. You're getting food, one, laced with chemicals, and two, it's mineral deficient, because you have actually forced the earth to pull itself back from you, and it will not give you the increase or the quality of food that you would require.
All right. And now, of course, being in Kenya, and you've told me earlier on, you told me you've been in Kenya for 11 years now. So when you look at how farmers are managing their crops, because I believe 11 years you've
traveled a lot and seen, and seen a lot.
So how farmers are handling their crops, the way they're handling their farms and managing them even after harvesting, what would you say from your perspective? Are we on the right track, or there's something that needs to be done, especially first of all how they manage their farms even after harvesting? Well,
one of the things I would say I've seen the evolution over the time I've been here, and I've seen it on both sides, because while I've seen an increase in conventional farms, I've seen an increase of the awareness of organic agriculture. So in terms of what I've seen happen here, with modern technology came a lot of chemicals that were being dumped from other countries. So Africa became the dumping ground for these chemicals. So quite a number of the pest control, disease control, these things are absorbed into the fruits and vegetables, and they're kept. And when the consumer is eating these things, it's suicidal. It's actually suicidal to consume some of these chemicals that we've been given. Hence the rapid increase of cancer, etc., etc. So in terms of post-management, it's very difficult for farmers to try to control something that's you have already put in that has a negative effect that cannot be taken back. Because the plants, the vegetables, the fruits, they have absorbed it and they're giving this to the consumer. So for us to consider trying to correct this after harvesting, this is something you correct. This is something you have to change the process and the cycles of agriculture so that you begin to now use natural remedies for disease control. You begin to use natural plant extracts, etc., for controlling your insects. Now, in terms of the soil, there's I've seen one thing can be improved is too much burning of the fields. Because when you're burning the fields, again, you're killing microbes, you're killing micronutrients, you're killing the topsoil with excessive burning of the fields that some of our farmers
Yeah, because
do.
during harvesting, people usually burn.
The burn is too much burning. So I've seen quite a bit of that. And then what I've seen a lot of is some herbicides. I know quite a number of these herbicides have been banned in other countries for decades. So some of these things that are being used in some of the large-scale farms, I think we really need to reconsider it. And I'm not here to just come with a big stick and cast judgment. What I'm here to do is to give our people the energy, the insight, and give our people the motivation to do better. Even the large-scale farmers, let's do better. Because if these things are having a negative impact on your people, if you see your own people are getting cancer, if you see your people are dying, if you see your soils, your farms are reducing the yields. I mean, in the maize industry, for example, where you used to get 30-something bags of maize, you're getting 10 and 8, and you go back and buy the same chemicals next year, and I think you need to get more. Say, I didn't get so much maize, so let me buy some more. Let me put some more. Absolutely not. Those chemicals are the ones that's killing the soil. So then the decrease in yields are actually a response from you doing this thing over and over again. And somebody got to say, come on, guys, time up. Because we as a people, and I'm not saying Kenyans, I'm not just saying a particular country, I'm saying we as a people, we are guilty of doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting to get a different result. We're seeing cancer increase. We're seeing so many things increase, and we keep on doing the same thing, eating the same thing, farming the same way. We have to say, man, we have to stop and take a stock. Let's look at what's happening here. You know, so...
All right. And now to another issue. Now, the organic way of farming and how to manage that from the planting season all the way, the management up to the harvesting. How can a farmer make sure that they are consistent? Because someone might start with the organic way, and then in the middle they're like, okay, I just need to throw some, chemical there for because they don't want to do all the work. Because I believe the management system of organic way really needs intentionality. So how does a farmer do this? And can you start the organic way and then you throw in some chemicals and then you harvest? Just give us how that works.
Well, I mean, in terms of principally, farming organic, like I said, is an ancient practice. The concept of organic farming that we have applied as ABI Organic, which is one of a company which we provide organic solutions to farmers. We practice preventative spray and preventative inputs, so that what you're doing is not waiting for a disease to hit or waiting for a particular insect to hit. We have a preventative, and these are all plant extracts, where we're using neem extracts, pyrethrum extracts, garlic extracts, and you're keeping those present so that they keep the insects off of your crops. So that's one way of actually controlling it. Now, another thing that we use, so that you don't have to do so much weeding, you can do some ground cover. So bump the herbicides. Let's do some ground cover so that we're not doing as much weeding, so that it becomes easier. Because guys think this thing is expensive. It's really not as expensive as you think. I mean, what we do in comparison to what some of the ancients would have done, where they were pounding cayenne and chili peppers, and they were pounding neem to get the neem extracts, and then applying them, etc. We have actually have them extracted in concentrated forms. So we use those as preventative. But if a farmer who cannot afford to, let's say, buy whether chemical or organic, which I detest chemicals, so unapologetically. Then you can actually crush garlic, you can crush aloe vera, you can crush neem. There's so many plants, indigenous plants here, that can be used to control insects and disease.
Okay.
And what you do a preventative spray. So farming organic, not waiting until you have a major issue and then you try to hit and kill. Because insects, and I'll give you another insight real quick. Insects do not mean that you have a problem. If there are no insects, you might actually have a problem, because we need insects. Okay, we need pollination. There's so many things that we need. So when you see a a concentrated amount of a particular insect, what that means is that there's an imbalance in the farm. And you have to balance it. That's all it is. So when we learn to manage and balance things, we need to keep everything in the balance. So organic farming is about us doing it God's way and keeping everything alive and keeping everything in harmony. Okay.
And in order, the way you've mentioned, keeping everything in harmony. Now, you spoke about the indigenous vegetables that we have, the indigenous crops that we used to have. It seems over time they've been depleting. And could this be the reason why the chemicals are really making them not to appear the way they used to be? Because vegetables in the ancient times, the way you've mentioned, or some years back, you would find them growing on the side of the road. Guys would pick them on the side of the road. So, in terms of embracing the indigenous crops that we have, in connection with organic farming, are we really doing the right thing? Because these days it's kale or cabbages. No one is having this other. Okay, if they're there, it's just little.
Well, what I would say, I would go straight to the target in this one, and I would say education, the education system, because we have to teach our children. The indigenous knowledge that's been lost across the continent in so many areas apart from agriculture. It's because we have not prioritized the education of ancient wisdom. And that is why we even, as a company, once again, our concept is we use some modern technology, but ancient wisdom in agriculture. So now this cuts across the board when they speak about food consumption, because the education has convinced us that this is the diet that you need, for example, and then you all end up in the pharmacy, end up in the hospital, end up dead. And now, when you're looking at the major shift of what's being consumed in our countries, use Kenya for an example where we are right now, is that the knowledge is not being passed on. So this is the responsibility of the elders, one, but two, it's also the education system that has to teach the children the importance of maintaining and consuming these indigenous vegetables. Because Kenya has, you talk about legumes and greens like out of this world. Yeah, when we come here, we say, man, Kenya, Irie. They say, yeah, man, Kenya, nice. Because you have everything. You actually have everything. Now, to maintain it is to make sure that this information is fed to the children and planted in their minds deliberately so that they see it as important and they prioritize it. That way we wouldn't have the complaint of some indigenous vegetables not being accessible or not being found, because the next generation that comes will make sure that these things are kept in the forefront of the next generation to come. And I think that's the major, more than just for me to just say this or just keep it as a topic. We'd almost be gossiping on the side. Say, man, you realize all these things are gone, or you realize this is, we say, look, this is education. And likewise, you guys here, you are media. You have the power in your hands. So I really congratulate you guys for this interview, and even to be bold enough to stand up and say, guys, let's go organic. Because this is major. This is generational impact you're doing here. Yeah.
All right, thank you for that. And now, going forward, when you look at organic farming and how it can be embraced even by the government, because you see, at the end of the day, individuals are doing it, but are the leaders really doing it? So going forward, maybe in the coming years, when we'll be talking about organic farming, what would you want it to sound like, or who would you want it to be focused on, the message? Because the people at the rural areas, there's a way they've been farming. Like I can say, my grandmother, there's a way she farms. If you come and tell her, okay, you can't do that, you can't use this, you can't use this. So how do we convince them?
Well, I think, one, we have to have more and more examples. We need to have more model organic farms. And I say, as far as on the government policy and the level of leadership, I think it would be great if those in position had taken the charge in telling Kenyans and telling Africans, hey, we are going to secure our generations by taking our people on this organic journey. So I think when it comes from top, coming down sometimes it's much easier, because everyone is listening and looking up to our leaders to tell us what direction are we going in, where are we going, how are we going to secure the future, how are we going to protect ourselves from dust. So I think pushing our government and pushing our leaders to set up demonstration and training centers and organic farming centers, so that we can teach, so that when people seen it and seen the benefits of it, because the elders, for example, the elders are not people that you go and try to teach them and talk to them about a lot of things.
Yes.
But if you show them, just like a child, they will follow you. Even if they've been doing some things, they've been using a little bit of chemicals or whatever, which the majority don't anyway. They use some manure and do it a simpler way, but now maximizing land use, etc. Those are some things we can help and improve with our elders, and some little different tweaks here and there, bringing in a little technology, because technology is not all bad. So but you have to show them that it's working. And one way we have been able to prove this, we have had organic farms that we started, by the 3rd year, the farm is in the soil is so potent that everything is big. The greens are big, the capsicum is big, tomatoes, everything is huge. And I think these are the more examples we have like this, even for the elders to see and to taste the quality, because there's something about organic vegetable, it tastes better. It's more nutrition than it's potent, and you can smell it, you can taste it. And I think when you have evidence to show the elders this is what it is, and then also that the youth are being educated, and we're taking the country on an organic journey.
Yes.
So I say let's go together. Let's make this a big organic journey. And I commend Kowan Kenya Organic Agriculture Network, who have been doing an excellent job at making sure that this gets out there. So there's and there are quite a number of stakeholders, Organic Consumer Alliance. There are quite a few who are doing some work to make sure that the organic message is being sent out there to the people.
Right. And of course, we cannot finish this conversation without speaking about the floods that have been affecting the larger part of Kenya. Also farms, people who had placed their plants, now they wanted maybe the management before they harvest. What do you think the floods have done to farmers at this time, especially the smallholder farmers?
Well, if I may, I would like to first say to Kenyans and to those of you who have lost lives in this flood that we send out our deepest sympathies, and our hearts are with all our people who are struggling and suffering, and the many lives we have lost during this flood. I couldn't go on without mentioning that, because it's close to our heart, looking at our people and looking at what's happening. In terms of the floods and the farms, yes, you can say that anything in excess, does do some damage.
Yes.
And quite a number of farms are being damaged from the floods, and anywhere there's too much water, then there's a leaching of minerals and so on and so forth. So then there's going to be some work to build it back afterwards.
Okay.
On the flip side, the good thing about the rains in those areas that are surviving the rains is that the rain comes down with quite a number of minerals and nutrients that the soil actually needs. And sometimes you find that the soil has been so depleted over time that having some good rain, which you'd notice the grass grows, everything pops. You plant your indigenous Kenyaji vegetables, whatever, and you will see when the rain comes, they pop, they jump up. You can be spraying chemicals, organic, whatever, and the rain seems to have a more powerful impact on these than anything else. So,
right.
Yeah.
All right, and now we're just going to hold the audit right there. Marion, come on. Marion, my co-host.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Veggie
man. Thank you so much for creating time for us and for the wonderful conversation.
Yes.
Kevo, hey, umeona hapa tumepatiwa our flowers.
Tumepatiwa.
I tell you.
So what have you learned today from the conversation?
I've learned that soil is very important. Your soil needs to be healthy, and one way of assuring that your soil is healthy is by making it organic, right?
Yes.
And I think Veggie Man needs to do the outro today.
Yeah, but before that, Kevo, have you ever composed any song on organic farming?
On organic farming?
Yeah.
Actually, not just no. So we're going to do it.
We're gonna do it right now?
We have to make an organic song.
Okay, let's do it.
You ready?
Right now? You ready?
Well, listen. I'm gonna get y'all give me something. I'm gonna get y'all. You and y'all gonna do this for me. Doom 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 doom. So what? Katie, and we are organic farm. Make them know some we have to take a stand. Solid like a rock and not turn back. Briggity back. Bring the soil up. Make the nutrients come alive. Make them know the people must just survive. Now go hold them back, we have to strive. In our organic. Boom!
Hey, that was fire!
Yeah, I mean that's just freestyle off. That's what came to mind off the head.
That was fire!
Nice. That was nice. That was really nice.
You wanna do the outro for us?
Yes.
You tell me.
You can tell the people where they can catch this show that is on KTN Home and KTN Farmers TV, and also follow us on our social media platforms and follow you as well and tell them to keep it farming.
You can look right there.
All right, guys. This is KTN, and catch KTN live, KTN Home, KTN everywhere.
And this
we
is
look at
Farm Kenya as well.
This is Farm Kenya.
Yeah.
KTN Farm Kenya. Make sure you plug in. You're with Ammie the Veggie Man, and I'm with my lovely people here in the KTN. This is you catch me, Ammie the Veggie Man. I'm on all social media as Ammie AMMI Veggie Man on Instagram and everywhere. And ABI Organic Agriculture Limited is our company based in Feather Plaza in Westlands. So we're providing organic solutions to our people. And we want to keep on preaching the organic gospel. Guys, go organic, go organic, go organic. It's the only way to live. We want to secure our future, and we cannot afford to see our people die and suffer and our soils be depleted because we're going after some big dreams. Let's go after what's real, keep it organic, tell them Veggie Man, say so, and now play with them.
Doom, 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 doom. Organic, organic farms, organic.
Unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima kuwa mshindi.